Hello and welcome to Blue Army TV. I'm sitting here after Carlisle have won a game of football, 2-1 against Port Vale at Brunton Park, and I've never been happier to say that, I don't think. Look, it was a game that we probably should have made a little bit easier for ourselves, but you can never be too disappointed after a last-minute winner like that, especially from the big man himself, John Mellish. And there's plenty of positives to take away from today. Look, I did think going in at half-time 0-0 was a big disappointment. I think it was frustrating seeing Luke Armstrong at the match today not being able to play, because I think if he's playing, and I think if you give him some of the chances that Garner couldn't score today, I think we're probably 1 or 2 up going in at half-time. And then to concede directly after half-time and go 1-0 down in a game that we should be winning, it felt a bit like deja vu. It felt a bit like how a lot of games this season have gone. But to show the determination, we win a penalty. We probably should have had a couple before that, but we eventually do get our penalty. John Gibson slots it away. Look, I don't think there's such things as good penalties and bad penalties. It's a good penalty if it goes in. It's a bad penalty if it doesn't. But I've never been a fan of them short run-ups. I much prefer a player just run and smack it. But no complaints as long as it goes in, and Jordan Gibson does seem to be reliable from the spot this season. And then to win in the last minute like that, I was really encouraged that we didn't sit back and hold out for a draw like I think we can be accused of doing for Fleetwood and another. I can't think of some other games this season. Anyways, we've gone for the equaliser and then not wanted to go and win. I think we've held on for a point too much this season when we should have pushed on and won it. That wasn't the case today. I think we pushed on well. After we scored the equaliser, I was scared we were just going to sit back and accept the point, but we didn't. We kept on pushing forward. We kept trying to get into good positions. We kept creating chances, and eventually we get that corner and we get that goal from John Mellish. And what a delivery it was from Robinson. I think he can be credited with both assists. It was him that won the penalty anyways, which I think goes down as an assist. It's a generous assist, if nothing else. But anyways, he had a big part to play in either goal. And the delivery into the box for the corner from him was absolutely fantastic. And it's something that we saw a lot from Owen Moxon last season, and we haven't seen enough of this season from him. But it's hopefully something we don't need to see from him if we've got a decent penalty taker in Robinson playing left back. But yeah, look, it's just really positive. And, the performance comes secondary after the result today. We just really needed to win today, and we've done that, especially when you look at some of the games coming up. We've got Exeter, which is now, we're in a really good position going into that game. They lost today against Reading, which is a game that's probably the best result possible because it now puts us 3 points away from safety. Yes, also, we'd have to overcome a 10 goal difference to go above that, but just to be level on points with a team out of the relegation zone, no matter what your goal difference is, it's good going considering we went bottom of the league a couple of weeks ago with 6 points away from safety. So if we can beat Exeter next week, we put ourselves in a really good position to get out of this bottom 4. And yet, look, I'm just happy. I'm still on the high of the victory. And what a way to do it last minute. And there was a part of me that knew we were going to win today. I felt that little bit more confident. I filmed a interview with Jenna Piatek and Nick Damasi, 2 of the 6 owners now, which is on Spotify now, and I'm going to try and put clips up from that interview on the YouTube, either today or tomorrow. They will definitely be coming soon though. But yeah. Big positives to take from the way we played. I think having left-footers in the team, it sounds simple, but you put left-footed players on the left and you have a strong left-hand side, and that's something we haven't done this season a lot, but we have Taylor Charters and we have Jack Robinson, and look, it would work with Jack Armour as well, but I just think having Taylor Charters in the left-hand side of that midfield, we've got a left-footer now in that midfield, and it does help. I feel like I've said left too much, but it does help us on that left-hand side get the ball forward quicker. And I think Taylor Charters probably had one of his best games in a Carlisle shirt that I've ever seen. He was absolutely fantastic. I was really disappointed when Paul Simpson took him off, which was before either goal, I think. But look, apparently he got a little bit of a knock. He'll be fine for the next game, apparently. But yeah, he had a really good game, and I think Moxon did as well. I think the midfield as a whole was just really good. Jordan Gibson come back into the team, obviously scores the penalty. He had a strange game for me, Jordan Gibson. Paul Simpson was very happy with the way he played, but for me, I think he did things right. He clearly shows that bit of quality. I think he did a really great... He took a touch and then chipped it over a player to gain control of the ball very early on, and it set the tempo, but he can be accused of trying to do too much at times, I think, and that's always been the case, but when you've got a player of his quality and his ability on the pitch, it really doesn't do much harm, and I really enjoyed having him back in the team today, and it puts to bed a lot of the stupid rumours of him potentially moving away, and Paul Simpson did that in his interview after the game today as well. Moving on, defence, I think, looked solid. I think the goal, it's one of the ones where, at this level, especially for relegation threatened team, you're going to concede goals like that. It was their only chance, I think. I think their only shot on target was that. And a newly promoted team, sat in the relegation zone, it's too much of an ask. I think you can say, we're going to concede at least one shot on target a game. I think that's fair to say. And it was just a good shot. I don't think, at the time, I thought Gabriel Breeze could have done a little bit better with it. Looking on it now afterwards, I think he's unlucky not to save it, but I don't think there's really too much more he can do about it. And especially with Gabriel Breeze today, I think it was also his best game in a Carlisle shirt. Admittedly, there isn't much to go off comparing him in previous games because he's only had 2. But yeah, he made some decent saves, which he hasn't had to do in previous games. He made a brilliant double save, which there's a part of me that just wished he'd pushed the initial one out for a corner, but he manages to get it wide, then starfishes out as people say, and managed to get the double save, and that'll do him a world of confidence. And it's something that went unnoticed, I think. But if there's a way to rewatch the penalty, and if there's any camera angle that shows Gabriel Breeze after the penalty, just look at the way he goes and celebrates with Sam Lavelle. Obviously he's in his box, but he runs out of his box when the goal goes in. Celebrates with Sam Lavelle. You can see how much it means to him, and I just really like that another youth academy player's coming up and doing well in the first team. And Gabriel Breeze now has given Paul Simpson a bit of a transfer headache. I think regardless, he's still going to try and recruit a goalkeeper in January. But it'd be very difficult to take him out of the team now. I think with Breeze now, you've got a position now where Thomas Hawley was going to be replaced. I think Anderson's probably going to leave because of injuries and because of lack of play time. But Paul Simpson now needs to decide whether he wants to go out and get another number 1 or he wants to get a backup to Gabriel Breeze. And I think the consensus is he's probably going to go out and get a number 1, regardless of Breeze's performances. But I think the fact he's having to make that decision is a real testament to how well Gabriel Breeze has done since he's come in. And it's really great to see another youth player, as I've already said, being successful in the first team. And you look at that team today, Taylor Charter's another example of that youth academy system. Owen Moxon, yes, he left the Carlisle, but again, somebody who was involved in the youth system. It's just really good to see and to have them homegrown players in the team, which a lot of teams, especially at this level, just don't have. But yeah, I've waffled on for long enough. It's just really nice to talk about a win for once, because as positive things are at the minute, it's not something I get to talk about a lot these days. So yeah, thank you for watching the video. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel, and in a bit.